Here's a very short list of things so awful, so terrible, so catastrophically damaging to Earth, history, and culture that they're often used as the baseline for comparison for the most dreadful, foulest atrocities ever to blight the planet, like Hitler. Whenever you talk about someone being oppressive or brutal, you compare them to the worst dictator ever, or Nazis or something. And when you're talking about a bad movie, a bad story, bad anything, well, it's almost always compared to the cinematic holocaust known as Highlander 2: The Quickening. Everyone's at least heard about this movie. They know it's like the worst movie ever made. And it's not. I mean, it's definitely up there, but there's been worse movies, maybe like one or two. But the reason this movie is so notorious is because it represents the most complete, utter, and spectacular ruination of a promising cult film phenomenon, to the point that even the mere presence of its poster in my room is a cheap punchline, a testament to artistic incompetence. It raises memories so tainted and raped that even the sight of it has had people wishing me to die in a car fire. And really, I think the main problem is based in the whole premise of the Highlander movie. Highlander's about a small group of people all over the world who are, for reasons unknown to them, immortal, unless their head is cut from their body, which confers the slain immortal's memories and power to the victor. Their only common law is that they're forbidden from fighting on holy ground. One day, they're all drawn to the same place, called the Gathering, and destined to do battle in single combat until only one remains.
The Gathering.
And that person is granted the prize, which is an unknown power that might spell doom for the world if it were to fall into evil hands. And the tagline, the coda of the whole movie, was, there can be only one. And guess what? Spoiler alert, that's exactly what happens at the end of Highlander. Connor MacLeod, the eponymous Highlander, kills the bad guy, claims the prize, and he lives happily ever after. The whole thesis of the movie is that by winning the prize, there is now only one. Not a lot of wiggle room for a sequel, you know what I'm saying? A prequel, maybe, but not a sequel. I mean, everyone's dead. Even Sean Connery, who somehow comes back for this one. I guess all I'm saying is, to pull off a convincing sequel, they'd have to get pretty damn creative. And, well, yeah, I guess they do get creative. The movie's set in the post-apocalyptic future. I've already lost you, haven't I? Okay, well, actually it opens up mid-apocalypse in the not-too-distant future of 1999. And why did they bother to specify that it's August in that subtitle? How the hell does that help?
What does incompetent mean?
Well, anyway, we hear a long montage of news footage explaining that pollution has ruined the ozone layer, and all the life on Earth is being killed off by the sun's harmful UV radiation.
Good morning. Today's top story is the ozone layer. It continues to disintegrate, taking with it our protection from the sun's rays.
And research has shown that the polar ice caps will continue to melt at an accelerating rate unless we all buy a Prius today. Connor MacLeod, the hero from the first movie, is now a mortal man after winning the prize, which was basically the ability to access the thoughts and knowledge of every human in existence, and he uses this to team up with the world's greatest scientists and create a giant planetary shield.
They'll remember this day for 1,000 years. The day we protected the planet from the sun.
The horrible, life-giving sun! We finally defeated it with science!
The shield. 25 years ago it was our savior. But now, no sun, no stars. It drains the energy from the whole world. We're falling apart.
Yeah, MacLeod's shield basically trashed the planet. People are a little upset.
Oh, sure, in hindsight, it seems obvious that completely blocking out the sun would cause catastrophic global ecological upheaval, usher in an ice age, and, you know, destroy all plant life on Earth. But how are we supposed to know? We're only scientists, not fortune tellers!
And I admit this is a minor point, but we can also hear a news report in MacLeod's car that says one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in a movie since Brackett is no mad dog killer.
Today, the Shield Corporation, the world's largest private company, was accused of monopoly and price fixing.
Monopoly and price fixing? Really? You mean to tell me that Connor MacLeod's planetary shield unfairly put all the other competing planetary shield corporations out of business? Of course he has a monopoly! He invented the planetary shield! The one shield surrounding the one planet! And price fixing's the one that kills me. What, the Shield Corporation is illegally charging too much for a service everyone needs to have to not burst into flames? What are they going to do if you don't pay your bill? turn the shield off?
Now you are being ridiculous.
You're telling me that a single corporation providing a service necessary for every human being on the planet to survive is price gouging billions of people and is not subject to any form of government oversight, subsidy, or control? And why is everyone so eager to buy into the stereotype of the greedy, evil, monolithic corporation just because this is a cyberpunk movie set in a dystopian future? It's not like their CEO is clearly a suspicious, shifty-eyed, weaselly, money-grubbing douchebag. Okay, yeah, so this is gonna be a really long movie. So the elderly MacLeod goes to opera to watch opera, and so begins one of the most infamous flashbacks in movie history.
Remember, Highlander. Remember your home. Another galaxy. You were chosen. Remember?
Yes. Yes, I remember. The beginning. 500 years ago. On the planet Zeist.
Oh god, you're serious.
On the planet Zeist. We planned rebellion. We met in secret, always careful to avoid our deadly enemy, General Katana.
See, this is what happens when you write a sequel to a movie without actually watching the first one. So the rebels of Zeist get together to listen to a speech by Sean Connery.
Free men of the planet Zeist, hear me.
Who still looks stunned he's found a movie worse than Zardoz.
I see a man with a great destiny before him.
Show him to us!
Let him show himself. Let him feel the quickening!
Whatever the hell that is, yay! So MacLeod is made the leader of the rebellion, despite the fact he doesn't have any experience, doesn't really know anything, and spends most of the movie being ordered around by Connery anyway. To make it all official, they dip their fingers in the sacred radioactive orange juice, and, I think they get married.
But we are joined in a way that can never be broken. Not even by death.
But almost immediately after this, General Katana attacks, ending MacLeod's glorious reign of leadership in about 8 seconds. Maybe they shouldn't have held their secret rebel meetings in the huge and obvious spaceship wreck in the middle of the desert.
Keep moving!
What? Oh, thanks, MacLeod! That really turned the tide of this battle! Despite MacLeod's patent-like leadership of yelling impotent, ineffectual orders at people who aren't really listening, and couldn't possibly hear him if they were, Katana easily crushes the rebels.
I want MacLeod and find the one they call Ramirez.
Wait, so they're from an alien planet, but they're called Ramirez and MacLeod on Zeist too? How does that even work? Like, Ramirez is a Spanish name.
I'm not Spanish, I'm Egyptian.
Sean Connery's a Scotsman, pretending to be an alien, pretending to be an Egyptian, pretending to be a You know what? That's not the point. The point is, the name of the series is Highlander, because the protagonist of the series is a native of the Scottish Highlands. He's not an alien!
I'm Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
Oh, of the Zeist MacLeods? What is this? The entire first movie was spent outlining his origin as a mortal man living in the Highlands of Scotland with his family, the MacLeod clan.
I was banished from the planet Zeist 500 years ago.
Scotland! Highlander! Did they think we wouldn't remember the Scotland part? It's the title! You didn't even need to see the movie to get this part right. You might as well have just called it Zeistlander.
Kill them. I want all their heads.
Oh, and I'd forgotten about General Katana, the Zeistian name if ever I'd heard one. Named after a Japanese sword, because, you know, in this movie people fight with swords. So naturally you figure the guy's a really good sword fighter. And yet he doesn't carry a katana, which is a little confusing. See, I think maybe as a kid he got teased a lot like I did. Like all the time as a kid I heard, hey Noah, where's the Ark? Maybe they were like, hey Katana, where's your katana, dude? And he's like, not everyone named Katana has a katana, guys. God. Oh, and by the way, just because I do actually happen to have an Ark in the backyard, it has nothing to do with the fact that my name is Noah. And when the polar ice caps finally melt, flood the earth, and destroy all life, I am not going to let any of you who made fun of me in. Now that the rebellion's been crushed, Katana puts MacLeod and Ramirez on trial for their crimes and finds them guilty.
You've been found guilty of treason. We hereby sentence you to exile from Zeist. You will be sent to the planet Earth.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Once there, you will be immortal.
Why?
You can only die if your head is cut from your body.
Does anyone know what he's talking about?
When one of you becomes the last of us on Earth, he will claim the prize. He can return to Zeist, or choose to grow old and die on Earth.
Oh, good, yeah. I'll get right on that. Lord knows I can't wait to return to this. Why doesn't Katana just kill them? Instead, he makes his enemies immortal? Ha! This will show McCloud. Have fun knowing that you'll be alive long after I'm dead, bastard. None of this makes any sense! Why is Zeist never mentioned a single time by anyone in the first movie? Why doesn't McCloud recognize Ramirez at all when they meet in Scotland, even though they got married on Zeist?
Who are you?
Why does Ramirez have to explain everything about immortality to McCloud when he was listening when sentence was passed on Zeist? Why do the other immortals want to fight anyway if the prize sucks so bad?
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Why are there other immortals if Katana only sent McCloud and Ramirez to Earth, and he specifically ordered his men to kill all the other rebels?
Kill them.
Where did they come from? Why are they immortal on Earth and not on Zeist? What's a quickening? What's the deal with the glowing orange juice? What is he writing on McCloud's head? What's the significance of the gathering? Why can they telepathically sense deer? And why is this never mentioned again? Why does McCloud have no idea how to fight even though he's an intergalactic freedom fighter? Why does this make even less sense than naked zombie Sean Connery throwing axes at a floating zombie head? Why am I in a Starfleet uniform? How far into this movie are we anyway?
When you need me, you'll only have to call my name.
12 minutes? How do you completely buck an entire series in 12 minutes? We're barely out of the opening credits!
You have the manners of a goat.
Cut back to the present, future, whatever, and we see a horrible composite shot of the SHIELD facility, which doesn't even try to blend in with the landscape or horizon. A team of commandos infiltrates the facility and accesses their computers to find out that the radiation levels above the SHIELD are normal. See? Normal. In huge blinking green letters. And just a small tip for their leader, Louise, you might find it easier to get away with your terrorist attacks if you don't take off your ninja mask in a facility full of security cameras and have people refer to you by your real name.
Come on, Louise, let's do it.
McCloud is at bar having drink when Louise tracks him down and starts asking him about the SHIELD. She gets in his car and, whoa, suddenly the lighting is radically different.
The numbers and figures I saw didn't add up.
Which numbers? You mean this one? Oh, good thing you're here to interpret this complex data, Louise. And holy crap! The car passed into a time warp! It's 2 hours earlier! Oh, it's the planet Zeist. Yeah, I thought this was the planet Cyclo. You can see why I'd be confused. Anyway, General Katana's bored, so he gets these two porcupine-looking jagoffs together for a mission.
You leave for the planet Earth immediately. Find McCloud and kill him.
But I thought you said McCloud was mortal and can never return.
Find him for me. Kill him.
Wait, why'd you hit him? Dumbass there just pointed out one of the biggest plot holes in the whole movie. Yeah, this guy figured out one of the plot holes, and Katana doesn't even have an answer for the guy. Why would you write a line of dialogue whose sole purpose is to undermine the urgency of the entire plot?
So hard to get good help.
Oh, so the Insano family comes from the planet Zeist. That actually explains a lot.